outside my house. I ain't do well in school ever. I ended up flunking out of school. I'm on my third marriage. I lost everything I've owned twice. I've been homeless and lived in a car for 3 years. I'm finna tell you what I know. This ain't no fancy rich boy answer, no theories, no. You ain't got to buy no program to do this. You ain't got to go sign up. I'm telling you right now, what I'm finna tell you, if you apply it right now, can change your existence. Because everybody I know want to be happy. Everybody I know want to be successful. If you don't want them two things, there's something wrong with you anyway. So now here, there is a scripture that I'm going to give you. It's a very small scripture. It's very short. I don't even know where it is in the Bible. Somebody probably know it if I say it, but I'm going to give it to you. This scripture changed my life. You have not because you ask not. You have any idea how major those words are for you? You have not because you ask not. It's such a simple scripture, but it's in your Bible. It ain't just in rich people's Bible. It's in the same copy you got. You have not because you ask not. This is the truest statement you'll hear me say today. Because it's true. Most people don't have the life of their dreams because you don't ask God for the life of your dreams. You've been trying to figure it out and handle it yourself. Well, how that's working out for you? You know how hard that is to do, man? Because I did it. I did it for 30-some years. I tried to figure it out myself. Man, all the simple scripture says, you have not because you ask not. If you up your ask, he automatically ups his give. You his child. God created you. He made you. You ain't just here by no accident. You ain't here because of your mama and daddy. Where your mama and daddy come from? Somebody started this whole thing. God created you. He gave you these little simple things you can do. You have not because you ask. Second reason people don't have what they want and be pleased. They don't have it written down. This is a very, very important piece to success. It's the principle of success. Every wealthy person knows this. I don't know nobody wealthy don't have a vision board. I don't know nobody wealthy don't have their stuff written on a piece of paper. I don't know nobody. I know a lot of people doing good. We have discussed it at great lengths. They showed me some of their vision boards that I had to go back and change mine. I went, whoa. But you got to have a vision board that's got to be written down. You know why? Because that's a scripture too. Habakkuk 2:2. Go, I know where this one at. Habakkuk 2:2. Go home and read that. It says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it will run to it. And even though it tarries, that means take a long time, wait for it. For surely it will come at an appointed time. Man, I'm telling you real now. What I'm telling you works. This ain't no magic trick. If you up your ass and you write everything you want from God on a piece of paper, now here's the exercise I want you to do. This gonna trick you out. Write everything you want from God on a piece of paper. Be as detailed as you can. Write it down. The object for you is to write down 300 things. Because I know 300 things that you could use. It's gonna be hard for you. When you get to number 75, you're gonna get stuck. Because your mind isn't conditioned to think way out there. So you're going to try to stay in your little list. But I want you to just open up your imagination. If you could have anything you wanted, put it on a piece of paper. Anything. How many cars? What kind of car? What color? Where you want your next house to be? Do you want a summer home? Where you want to travel to? How much you want in the bank? How much would you like to have in retirement? What you want to leave for your grandkids? How much would you like to give all your siblings? Would you like to one day walk in there and just give all your family a check? Put everything you want on a piece of paper. Do not stop until you have 300 things. It's going to take you a while. I'm telling you, when you get to 75, your brain going to lock up. But keep writing it down. But every morning, read your list. I don't want you watching TV at night. I want you to read your list. Number 6, take 5 minutes and read your list every night, every morning. 1 year from today, wait 1 year from today, and take a pen out and go down on your list and check off anything that has happened for you that's on that list. Listen to me. If you do that in faith, if you read your list with the expectation that God is going to do some great things for you, at the end of 1 year, you will be stunned, absolutely stunned at how much stuff comes off that list. I promise you, at least 30 things will be off that list. At minimum, 10% of your list that comes through. You know how I know? Because I know a lot of people that can do it. But you know how I really know?
What's going on, family? Yo, today, I ain't gonna lie, we almost didn't have coffee and crypto. So, you know, at the end of the day, just grateful to be here. Y'all, I'm busy as hell. I'm in Houston, Texas right now. I actually have a flight to catch. I have to be to the airport in 1 hour. So I didn't even know how I was going to do the show. So if y'all was wondering, that's why. All right, I'm scrambling right now. So if you live right now, hey, we here. All right, I don't have time to send out the message. I don't have time to send out the link. Y'all know we here and I need help. So y'all should already be sending out the link to the group chat, right? You know what I mean? Like don't text me and ask me, are we having it? Just go ahead and send the link out, because we always gonna have coffee and crypto. You know what I mean? This is a show that must go on no matter what, right? So my driver will be here at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then I need to be out of this hotel. So I have a lot of content to share today, and we got to dive straight into it. So I hope y'all are doing amazing today. I've had an amazing week. Last 2 weeks have been incredible. Came to Houston and had a life-changing meeting yesterday, and getting ready to just, in and out, and headed back to Atlanta today, and just getting back in the groove. Today is episode number 120 of Coffee and Crypto. And again, I appreciate you all for taking the time to be here. I'm happy that I was able to make it. My internet was giving me issues. There was a lot of stuff going on today, y'all. Like, there was a reason why I couldn't, start the link. So a lot of stuff was going on, but we figured it out. And we are on. So if y'all can do me a favor and just go drop the link. It's episode 120. So change that 119 to 120 and go ahead and blast that out. I appreciate you all that always blast out the link to the Discord group. Definitely appreciate that, and make sure you send it to your friends and family. But today's call is definitely going to be one of those. It's going to be brief, but definitely strong as well. So with that being said, I need to just hype myself up real quick. So I'm about to pump it up. I hope y'all with me. Just drop some coffee in the chat box if y'all rocking with me. I appreciate y'all being here, and welcome to the show.
Le style holding, où le canot est un élongé. Flip the switch.
Flip the switch. Flip the switch. Flip the switch. Woo! Let's pump it up, y'all. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, episode number 120. Today's show is absolutely incredible, guys, and it is time for us to pump it up. Now, yesterday, Senator Kennedy, I really went after Gary Gensler's throat. And I thought that this was a great video to start today's episode out with. So you guys enjoy it. I'm gonna take some time to send this link out to some friends and family, and just let people know that we are here, because apparently people need me to text them. People need a message to just click, what? I ain't sending nothing out. Matter of fact, I'm happy the way it is. You know what I mean? Like, guys, this is it. If you're invested, congratulations. If you're not invested, congratulations. Either way, it's congratulations. This is your choice. This is your duty. It's time to be here. And typically, this is for people who watch the video maybe 2-3 days later. I want you guys to remember that this show starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday and Thursday. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you plug in. With that being said, let's watch this.
Mr. Chairman, why did you and the SEC allow the FTX fraud to happen?
The crypto field is often one that is commingling and bundling services, as I said earlier, and often also offshore. And it is rife with abuses and fraud. It also takes time to thoughtfully and by the book and by the law build investigations and bring actions. There's a public figure, on average, about 23 months from start to either settlement or bringing an action at the SEC. We did bring actions over the course of the last 5 years on 150 companies or.
The cow was out the barn. I mean, I follow your remarks, Mr. Chairman, because I have great respect for you. And you've said repeatedly before FTX blew up that the SEC has the authority to regulate cryptocurrency. Now, here you have this company, FTX, run by a young man who has more zeal than wisdom. He prides himself looking like the fourth runner-up in a John Belushi lookalike contest. He prides himself on being underdressed and overhaired, reeks with arrogance. You could have sent down one investigator from the FTC with an ego like Mr. Bankman-Fried and said, I want to send someone down from the SEC and let them just watch you for a day. And he probably would have welcomed you in. I mean, his dad is a chaired professor at Stanford Law School. Where was Stanford? But where was the SEC? I mean, this was an accident waiting to happen. And I don't understand where the SEC was.
So, sir, I would say that the whole field has hurt more Americans than it should.
Yeah, but I'm talking about FTX. I mean, we look back at FTX. I mean, Senator Durbin made this point. And we have this elaborate, complex regulatory machinery, the SEC, which I support, which is supposed to guarantee transparency and combat fraud. And any fair-minded person has to look at FTX and Mr. Bankman-Fried and these kids and go, what in God's, where was everybody? Where was the SEC?
And I would say where we were is my predecessor, and also under my honor to be chair, we brought 140 or 150 actions. There are 15 to 20,000 tokens, and there are dozens of platforms.
But it was after the fact, Gary. I mean, here's this young man. He did everything but buy Mount Rushmore. Weren't you all curious? Where's this guy getting this money?
I would say that in the summer of 2021, when we Wells noticed a very large crypto exchange in the US, they went on Twitter and said that we were sketchy when we subpoenaed Do Kwon. This is all public, so I can say it. When we gave him a subpoena, he fought us in the district court. He fought us in the LA court.
But I'm not talking about how many lawyers can dance on the head of a pin. I'm talking about why didn't you send somebody down? I guarantee you, with his ego, Mr. Bankman-Fried would have welcomed you. Okay, he probably would have asked you to bring a film crew. You just send an investigator down, spend a half a day with these young people, come back and go get an injunction, shut them down until they can answer some very basic fundamental questions. Like, for example, were they commingling funds? Why didn't we do that? Why didn't you do that? That's what we pay you folks to do.
Well, again,
I mean, I get all the Wells letter and all that. We've got tens of thousands of people that lost a lot of money. And they look at this young man and they go, how did the regulatory authorities allow this guy to function? I mean, his Secret Service name is Butthead. That's how bad he is. Where was the SEC?
And again, sir, I can't speak to one enforcement matter like that, but let me just broadly say this whole field, the whole crypto field is built on models that we wouldn't allow in traditional securities markets of commingling. The commingling that you're
why did you allow FTX?
And
why did you allow FTX?
We have vigorously. We investigate by the book. You, I'm sure, and the American public want us to follow the facts, follow the law, properly give people subpoenas. They get lawyered up. They give us replies. They do effectively burn clock. And on average,
you could have gotten an injunction, half a day.
All right. So Gary Gensler has been, he's been summoned back to Congress after this lawsuit with Ripple. So they had fun with him yesterday or the day before. I think it might have been yesterday, but they had some good time with good old Gary over in Congress. And so just proceeding forward through this, this was from Digital Asset Investor. Said, Senator Kennedy, you asked the wrong question. You should have asked how many meetings Gary had with Sam Bankman-Fried and what they were planning, right? For your information, Gary's public calendar is missing many months, which we talked about on the show. We showed those months that were missing. Now, that's really the only policy thing that I really have, because we know that, at this point, Ripple, XRP has officially been given the clarity that's needed. It's the only digital asset with clarity that's not a security other than Bitcoin. It's the only real world utility asset, right? Not XLM, not XDC, not HBAR yet, not Quant yet, none of these, right? The only one right now is XRP. And so that really takes us into something that I wanted to spend a brief sector in jumping in, because I'm not sure if you all really know about this. How many people truly understand the quantum financial system, right? And so I didn't really 100% understand it, but this video really helped me. So I wanted to play this video for you all, because what we're moving into is the quantum finance. Well, actually, we're not even moving into it. The quantum financial system is already here. And I have some documentation to show you today to show you, exactly what I mean by the quantum financial system is already here. And it's been here for the last 3 to 4 years.
Quantum financial systems are revolutionary new technologies designed to enhance banking and finance activities in order to increase security, transparency, and trust. The concept utilizes cutting-edge technologies such as quantum computing and blockchain to transform how we access and manage money and resources. At its core, quantum financial systems work by allowing transactions and transactions-related data to be recorded securely and immutably on a decentralized platform. This blockchain technology uses cryptographic protocols to secure the data and transactions and protect against malicious third parties. Additionally, quantum computing allows for faster and more accurate processing of complex data-related problems, providing higher security and more reliable access to financial assets. Several of the world's biggest banks, such as JP Morgan Chase, HSBC, and Citibank, are already implementing quantum financial systems and making them a part of their banking activities. Other banking services such as PayPal have already begun experimenting with quantum technology, giving customers access to new banking products. The effects of quantum financial systems are far-reaching. They not only provide more security and convenience for those in the banking and finance industry, but also for everyday citizens who want greater control and access over their funds and assets. The new system also facilitates faster and easier payments between businesses and consumers. Overall, there are a few pros and cons when it comes to quantum financial systems. On one hand, the higher levels of security, trust, and transparency mean that it is less likely that banking fraud or theft will occur. On the other hand, the technology is still fairly new, and therefore the risks of misuse are greater and the user experience is still being perfected. All in all, however, quantum financial systems have the potential to completely transform the way we access, manage, and utilize our funds and resources in the future.
So I felt like that was a very, that was important. And the reason why is because FedNow launched today, and FedNow is a part of the quantum financial system, right? The Great Reset. And so, where's my PDF? Here it is. So let me pull up this PDF for you all. And I want to show you something that I found. Now, before I show this, office of the comptroller, right? So there's an office called Office of the Comptroller, and I'm not sure if you all know what the Office of the Comptroller is, or who they are, but the Office of the Comptroller is an independent bureau of the U.S. Department of the Treasury. The OCC charters regulates and supervise all national banks, federal savings associations, and federal branches and agencies of foreign banks, right? So this is the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. They control, they manage, they issue, they regulate, they supervise, right? The currencies all around the world, specifically here in the United States, and what currencies come in, right? Now, want to pull up my my PDF that I was going to show you all. Here it is, okay? So pay attention. This came out 6/16 of 2020. It was a letter, right? Guarantee letter. And this was from Baxico.com. Now, what is Baxico? Okay, I actually didn't look this up. So let's go. Let's actually, this is the first time I saw this. So let's go and be nosy real quick, right? So Baxico is the central bank of Mexico, right? Banco de Mexico. Okay, so now the email was forwarded to us, right, from the Office of the Comptroller of Currency in Washington, D.C., right? So this was sent to Mexico. Why was this sent to Mexico? Let's be nosy and found out. It says, here you will find the guarantee letter identifying the actions needed to be taken so that we here may ensure the arrival of your international settlement funds to your bank capture line this same week. Okay, now let's keep going. Okay, and then it talks about the OCCs, what they do, they regulate. But if we scroll down right here, all right, this right here. Let's read it. Regarding Mexico and USA international settlement, notice of deficit, right? So this is money that's owed. Notice of deficit due to bracket readjustment. This notice is regarding pending international settlement involving Mexican federal compensation funds legally registered to be received by the United States citizen and patriot, registered under Mexican federal case number. Let's scroll down. In preparation for the global currency reset. It's in this document between the Office of the Comptroller and the Central Bank of Mexico. Here's the proof that we are moving into it. in preparation for the global currency reset and arrival of the quantum financial system currently running parallel. Any international financial activity regulated by their respective agency must strictly comply with no tolerance to all protocol and regulations stipulated in the International Quantum Initiative Act. The International Quantum, right, Initiative Act. What is the International Quantum Act and Initiative Act, right? This was processed by Congress 2018, 2017, right? What does this do? This bill directs the president to implement a national quantum initiative program to, among other things, establish the goals and priorities for a 10-year plan to accelerate the development of quantum information science and technology applications. They've already processed this. Look at this. The National Science and Technology Council shall establish a subcommittee on quantum information science, including membership from the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the NIST, and NASA. I told y'all before, this is space technology that we're dealing with. We are headed to the moon. This is not a joke. This is for real. I just showed y'all. All right. So this came out yesterday. The Fed is set to launch long-awaited instant payment service modernizing system. Let's go through this. The U.S. Federal Reserve is due immediately launch a long-awaited service which will aim to modernize the country's payment system, which we know about, right? The FedNow service, which has been in the works since 2019, which is a lie. It's been in the works since 2013 because we watched the video with Chairman Powell in his first interview when he talked about it under the Obama administration, right? Now pay attention. FedNow launched today. FedNow launched today. Pay attention. First new payment rail in 40 years. This is the first new payment rail in 40 years. Right? And what is this payment rail focused on? This payment rail is not focused on domestic payments. This payment rail is coming out the back focused on international remittances, right? So this is focused on service providers. Banks will not be directly transacting. The service provider performs the transfer. The service provider will perform the transfer. Understand where I'm going, y'all? Listen to me. The banks will not have the power anymore. The service providers will have the power. Who are the new service providers? RippleNet, Volante, Finastra, and there's a few more. Listen to this interview. If it'll play. 1 second. Maybe we might be going hard. Let's get it. Let's see if this will play. All right, here we go.
Talk about FedNow specifically, though. What's the unique opportunity here for banks to start fresh, right? And we touched on this a bit, but there are things about this is brand new that we can talk about, and then maybe a little bit about and how can we push that into the testing discussion? Like how can we push people to do things differently on testing specifically?
Yeah, I mean, what better time to think about new stuff for modernization of testing or of your services and technology than the first new payment rail in 40 years. I'm jazzed about that. So what better time to start thinking about this as an opportunity? And to your point, even as organizations are thinking through budget and kind of product rollout, thinking about this as a more than a true payment rail, rather than just a new product, that is really going to be an opportunity to think in innovative ways about everything. Whether that's the use cases that are out there or how to test out and ensure that you're operationally ready to go with the FedNow service. So absolutely a great time to think about new approaches, technologies, opportunities for innovation. Some new approaches may be a bit more required. So using the ISO schema, that's absolutely core to the FedNow service. So adopting that ISO messaging standard is going to be new for a lot of organizations. There's a lot of service providers out there that are ready to support this, but it's also new for them as well, potentially, if they haven't used it internationally before. But I want to be sure that this isn't seen just because it's new and really big, that this isn't a barrier to thinking about the FinNow service or thinking about testing. Because like you said, Miriam, older processes, older systems can be looked to leverage and to get those efficiencies to prevent you from totally recreating the wheel. There may be opportunities for modernizing things like the core banking system or things like other payments services, but it's not a requirement to move into the instant payment space. So for some, maybe this is the right time for a wholesale change and update and upgrade for everything, which would be really exciting. But for others, maybe it's kind of step by step, piece by piece, to look at upgrades and modernize.
All right, so there it is, y'all. Okay, now and she works with the Federal Reserve. All right, not going to show this. That's not as important. All right, Mike Novogratz, okay, founder, CEO of what is it? Galaxy Digital. Okay, pay attention to what he had to say, because remember, Mike Novogratz was also on stage, and I believe I saw a picture in the comments, but Mike Novogratz was also on stage multiple times at big events with Gary Gensler, right?
Hey, Michael, I'm sure since so many folks in crypto land were following this decision related to Ripple, I wanted to get your thoughts and comments on it, and whether you think it has any demonstrable impact in terms of what's, how the SEC and how Congress and how others think about these things.
It has to force the Democrats, the White House and Gensler to the table to start negotiating fair rules. Like it was just.
Was this a way? I mean, maybe we should explain for the audience, and maybe Michael, you probably do a better job than I can, what the decision was, because some people looked at that decision as a win for Ripple, and others said actually maybe it wasn't.
No, it was a big win for Ripple, and it was a big win for the crypto community. Like, let's not let Gary Gensler put lipstick on a pig. They lost, and they know it. And at best, the judge said, okay, now you're going to, if the SEC wants to litigate, you're going to have to litigate every token separately and every use of that token separately. And so the current status quo isn't going to work for the SEC. Listen, they could appeal. Appeals take a long time. We can stay in court for years. But I think the message that I want to give that is really clear was what Gary has been saying, that the rules are clear, just isn't true. It's not true at all. And that judge said that exactly, right? This is really complicated. We need regulation that makes things clear. And it's not that complicated.
All right. So that was Mike Novogratz from Galaxy Digital. Okay. And so going over here now, okay, wanted to share something. So Temenos, okay, and if you guys don't know who this is, this came out in 2021, but Temenos was selected to participate in the Federal Reserve's pilot program for the new instant payments services. Now, we talked about it, right? We said RippleNet, Volante, Finastra. Volante is a Ripple partner. Finastra is a Ripple partner, right? But then guess who else is a Ripple partner? Temenos. Temenos is also a Ripple partner. All right. And so I have a video. It's about 6 minutes. I'm going to share it real quick. Okay. And I'm not going to share the whole thing, but this was an interview back in 2016, November 15th of 2016. This stuff has been in the works for years. The Ripple demo through Temenos.
Now I'd like to welcome John and Pavel, so our partner selected winner, and their demo is very topical, blockchain technology. So good luck, guys.
Thank you. So we have an idea for you that's going to do two key things. One, it's going to capitalize on one of the biggest trends that's impacting financials.
So first off, this is a banking conference. So everybody in the crowd is a part of all the banks. So everybody in the crowd are bankers, right? And executives of banks. So just wanted to tell you who's in the crowd and they're talking to. They're not talking to just regular people, right?
Services today. And second, it's going to make all of you in the room a lot of money, right? So my name is John. I'm with Deloitte Digital, and we often advise our clients to work better with fintechs and look to embrace the technologies out there. So my main job is to introduce to you Pavel.
Sorry, y'all.
Pavel is the CEO
I
of
gotta turn this off.
which is a startup fintech that focuses on blockchain integration.
All right. Hi, everybody. So what I'd like to do is let's have a show of hands of everybody who's heard of the blockchain. Okay, pretty much everybody. How many people here have actually seen something happen on the blockchain? Barely anybody. So what I like to say is I equate blockchain to high school sex. Everybody says they're doing it. Everybody thinks everybody else is doing it, but nobody's doing anything. So what we're going to do here today is show you how the blockchain works in a real transaction with the T24. So what you see here is the current legacy systems that banks are used to when it comes to international payments. Multiple hops, correspondent banks in between, float accounts held everywhere. Problem with that, that's a legacy system that used to work when transactions used to be high dollar amount, but low volume. But the world's changed now because of remittance, small to medium enterprise, B2B business. You need low dollar amounts, but high volume of transactions. So this system doesn't work anymore. And also it's highly problematic. It's costly, 10 to 15% of transactions, highly error prone, 14% of wires get misdone, and extremely slow, not just for the customer, but for you banks on the back end, 3 days to 2 weeks for settlement. I'm waiting 2 weeks for a Hong Kong wire still to show up.
Sheesh.
So we're going to focus on what the blockchain can deliver. So what we have here is a bank at one end connecting to the T24. Then the Blue Zelle technology is tapping into the T24, which will talk to the Ripple network, which is a Ripple protocol blockchain, and send money overseas. So let's do a demo. Here I am, Coast Capital Bank, and I'm the teller. John comes to me and says, hey, I want to send some money. Let's see, need some Canadian. I put in the account number for Coast Capital. There we go.
So I don't need to show the whole video because we're not bankers, but I want you to see that this is truly the technology that they are embracing. And y'all saw it here. Y'all literally saw that name right there, Ripple, right in the middle of it, right? So we're talking about Temenos, right? Selected to participate in the Federal Reserves. Remember what we just said, right? We just said that service providers will be the new will be the people who transfers this money now, right? They will be the new rails. It will not be the banks. And that is important because who do the service providers use to move this money? And 3 of the service providers that we already focused on are using what? Ripple, right? So it says Temenos payment is available in the cloud, right? Temenos relentless investment into R&D ensures Temenos payment is embedded with the latest standards and innovations, including ISO 20022, which we know, right? Ripple is a part of ISO 20022. Okay, and so this was an article from yesterday. Temenos completes certification for Federal Reserve's new instant payments service, FedNow. Okay, and so Temenos is a part of it. If we go over to this article from May 2016, Deloitte, all right, which you guys should know that company, Deloitte showcases integration of Ripple technology into Temenos T24, which is what we just watched, right? So this was an article to go with the video that we watched. So all of these service providers are utilizing Ripple. And that's why Navin Gupta had to say this.
Next move, on Ripple's roadmap, in your opinion? To put you on the spot here.
No, it's very simple. So I think one thing, if there is one message that you can get in this room is Ripple is not an ordinary company. We are not here to make us have a small market share or do X, do Y, and make small amount of money or something to happen. We are here to make a dent in the universe. Either we will change the remittance thing to happen. We are here to make a dent in the universe. Either we will change the remittance universe, the way you understand, the way value gets transferred across the world, between people, between institutions, or we will just fade away. So it's almost 0 or 1. And some of it comes from our Silicon Valley arrogance. Some of it comes from, that's the reason 6 years ago, we were born with a mission of moving money like information moves today, right? And we are making it possible working with the existing ecosystem. So I think this is a key differentiator about Ripple. And that's the reason we are a monoline company. Every day we get tens of ideas to say, why don't you do security settlement? Why don't you work in trade finance? Why don't you do X, Y, Z? And what we tell them is just cross-border remittances is $155 trillion problem.
we'll solve this first. We'll make a difference to everybody who's present in this room. And once we have made the difference, then only we will look at something else. So we are like Google is for search, Ripple is for remittances. And that's what we're going.
What he said?
Like Google is for search, Ripple is for remittances.
Woo! Just like Google is for search, Ripple is for remittance. It's all or nothing for Ripple. All or nothing. They're going all in, y'all. They're either going to crash and burn, or they're going to or they're going to win. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to win.
I can imagine in the next 5 years, instead of us doing sterling against the dollar or sterling against yen and doing these kinds of transactions, we'll do sterling versus Ripple. And the reason being, dollar right now is a 2-day settlement. It's something like Ripple, you could do settlement in seconds. And I think that there's a future there where the guy that's trading spot FX today will be trading spot FX against Ripple in the future, in the next 2 or 3 years. So I think that Ripple has a great future because it's right now supported by all the banks and by all the regulators.
And it has an elastic monetary base. Right?
So
Well,
if we take that and you go to the blockchain ledger, if you take that concept that you're discussing, I have no problem with it. I agree with it. But you're talking about money. You're talking about transaction, medium of exchange. There has to be something behind it, and that's where I'm gonna pull this conversation back to gold. There has to be some sort of reserve asset. The problem with fiat currencies right now is that they can print as much as they.
I can imagine.
Right. So I'm just showing y'all. I'm just trying to show y'all that, you know, this is what's going on, y'all. Listen, I told you today's episode wasn't going to be long. I do got to go catch this flight. But, you know, I definitely appreciate y'all for taking the time to be on the show today. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully your faith is still high in Ripple. Hopefully you feel amazing about Ripple. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Branch said that same guy who's talking Forex also stated that in 18 months, all Forex will be settled in XRP. And that was before the lawsuit. I'm telling y'all right now, get ready for the explosion. And if for anybody, and I got one more thing. I got one more thing for y'all. I got one more thing. Hold up. Watch this right here. Okay, let's pull that up, and then let's pull up CoinMarketCap, because one of my private clients here in Houston, who I came here to actually meet with, this gentleman. Okay, what he ended up saying, we were meeting yesterday, and we were talking, and when we were talking, he was bringing up that a valid point, right? Bitcoin circulating supply is 19 million. Ethereum's is 120 million. That's why it's 1,029,000. But when you look at things like XRP, there's a $52 billion circulating supply right now. And that's why it's 79 cents. If you look at BNB, there's 150. So scarcity is what drives price, right? So I can definitely agree with that, scarcity. And so if you look at most of these coins, which we talked about before on our tokenomics call that we used to do within my private group, the higher the circulating supply, the lower the number, right? Because there's so much. Now, something that I want y'all to remember is this, okay? There's only, all right, let's go to XRP. There it is, number 4. I went down to number 6. Here it is. There's only, right, there's only 52 billion XRP in circulating supply. Majority of that is locked up in escrows with the CEOs, right? The CEOs, different exchanges. So billions of XRP is already locked up. So if you really think about it, institutional investors now have to go after this case because institutional XRP was considered a security. Retail XRP wasn't. So institutions now have to go onto Coinbase, Uphold, Crypto.com, and everywhere else and buy their XRP in the same space that we buy our XRP right now. Understand that there's not enough XRP for every person in the world right now to actually get some. There's not enough. There's not enough because majority of it is already locked up in escrows. meaning that there's much less that's available. So if you own XRP, congratulations. Now, something that people don't understand is that most cryptocurrencies, especially XRP, have a daily burn rate. What does that mean, right? What does that mean, Vincent? I'm glad you asked, okay? So, well, this was 5 years ago. Let's find something more relevant. Okay, here it is, the crypto basics, okay? So analyst says $100 per XRP is inevitable as XRP burn rate doubles over 30 days. XRP daily burn rate skyrockets, right? In a series of tweets, blah, 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 hold up. According to the tweets, just 30 days ago, the total supply of XRP stood at 99 billion, but it has now dropped to this number right here, right? Signifying a reduction of 247,000 XRP. This figure equates to approximately 8,000 XRP burned per day, right? So understand that it's going to take a little time, right, for the amount of XRP in circulation to go down. But as we continue to live, right, as we continue to grow, every single day, 8,000, and it's going to continue to double and increase. More and more XRP will be burned until there's less in circulation. Once that happens, it will not be enough for central banks. And understand this, in order for XRP to be able to transact $50 billion transact. Let's say that they wanted to transact $50 billion. Do you understand that the price of XRP could not be $1? What do you mean, Vincent? If the price of XRP was $1 and we needed to transact $50 billion, how many XRP do we need to have in that transaction to make it happen? Let me know, y'all. How many XRP do we need to have to be able to process the transaction for one company? 50 billion. Let's go back to what we just read, right? Understand that we don't even have, even though there's 50 billion XRP in circulation, Brad Garlinghouse, hold on. How many XRP do Brad Garlinghouse, I butchered his name, Brad Garlinghouse have in escrow? And then we're going to get up out of here, family. I just want to show y'all this. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here real quick. Check this out. Hold on, I need to find, here it is. Here it is. How much XRP is held in escrow? Ripple Labs initially locked up 55 billion in escrow, but the company has gradually released the funds monthly since 2018. Okay, the amount of XRP held as of May 2023 is 42 billion in escrow. Okay, now, if there are only, let's go to XRP. If right now there are only 52 billion XRP in circulation, family, but we need, y'all's answer was what? 50 billion XRP. The answer was 50 billion XRP. But Brad Garlinghouse, Joel Katz, all of these guys have an extremely crazy amount of XRP that is locked up in their own accounts. That means that there's not even 50 billion XRP, meaning that the price cannot be $1, right? So then that takes us to, can the price be $10? No, because that's not enough money. So the price of XRP has to be high in order for them to have to use less XRP to process transactions. I hope that made sense for y'all. And if not, just stick around and get rich by mistake. Okay? With that being said, I appreciate each and every single one of you all for tuning in to Coffee and Crypto, episode 120. We are 80 episodes away from 200 episodes. And like that being said, I got to get up out of here because I got to get out of Houston before I miss my flight. All right. So I love y'all. Thank you so much. We do not have time for Q&A today. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. And we will prevail. We will win, family. I'll see y'all on episode 120.